Guess which watch brand I am going to review today. So I have this Chinese watch brand with me which makes homage watches just for fun. But mind you, this watch is not a homage or a rip-off of a famous design. And when I bought this, I was primarily confused between buying two watches from the 1963 series. So now you know I am talking about Sugess. Let me clear the air by answering this simple question that revolves around this particular watch, and that is, are Sugess and Seagull watches related? Well, they are not. And the only way they are related is that Sugess uses Seagull movements in their watches. If you check out the Seagull website, you will get to know that 1963 was the first watch that was built for Chinese pilots. And that particular watch is available for $650 on their website. So what's the catch here? And do you know which one are you going to pick? While there might be notable differences between the pilot watch and the Sugess 1963, we are not here to discuss or do a comparison between them. While I have a watch here from the lineup of Sugess, which is 1780. I got my hands on this particular watch for just $150. I had to pay no shippings, but obviously customs were mandatory, so I paid around $50 in customs. I eventually ended up paying 16,000 rupees or $200 for this particular watch. I think it's not a bad deal at all. The box that you see here is a generic Chinese manufactured case, which I also got with an Addis dive watch that I had ordered a few months ago. Nothing special with the case here, but as soon as you open it, you'll be enthralled by the beauty of a watch that rests peacefully inside an oyster. Other items in the box include a warranty card, a link removal tool, which has a very important role to play, and an extra strap in the form of a Milanese bracelet. So let's find out if this watch is worth our time and money. The SU-1780, as it's called, is a beauty that you can admire from time to time. So let me quickly explain the dial to you, which has a unique parchment paper type retro color, which gives almost a vintage white or a beige yellow look. This is neatly matched with the gold colored numerals and indices. These look sharp, by the way, with a Breguet type font. Almost. A small red star outlined in gold is studded on the forehead. The markers also are cornered by the loom dots. The first dial on the right is a date indicator. By the way, you cannot change the date using the crown. I'll tell you a very unique way to change it when the time comes. The next dial on the bottom is a small seconds hand. Nice touch here with the XY axis plane navigator for the seconds hand. As it is, this is a pilot's watch. Completing the circle here is the conical shaped power reserve indicator, which denotes the time left before you have to recharge it. You can rotate the crown in clockwise direction in the resting position to charge the watch. 19 yuan on the dial here indicates that this particular watch has 19 jewels. Now this here is a stainless steel case that's made of 316L stainless steel with a nice shiny polish through and through. The case here is 40 mm in diameter with 50 mm lug-to-lug width and 13 mm thickness. The crystal on the top is sapphire with scratch resistant properties. The visibility of the dial is nice and crisp, a very retro vintage look. The alpha, hour and minute hands along with the other hands are all painted in blue. Flip it sideways and you'll find here a star-studded crown, and right above it is a pinhole that has a very specific purpose. And that's coming soon. Turn it over to find an exhibition case back which is large enough to see the Seagull 1780 movement that's used on this particular watch. Now this is a run-of-the-mill automatic winding movement with a 35-hour power reserve and a 19 jewel setup. The first thing that you note is a regular crown, but that's not screwed down. So you have to pull it out and rotate it backwards to set the time. So now you'll have to wear your watch every single day or spend 15 minutes setting just the date. But there's one unique way in which you can set the date on this watch without hassling so much, and for that you'll require the link removal tool that you got with this watch. So say thanks for being a lifesaver and subscribe to my channel. Now I simply have to push the pin inside this hole above the crown, and here you go. The date has changed. Now this particular watch comes with just 50 meter of water resistance, and that is bad. The strap that you see here is a nylon belt, but that comes with a regular buckle to strap it up. Not a big NATO fan though, personally, so you get an extra Milanese strap here as well, which seems of pretty decent quality. How long it will last? that's a topic for another day. The Milanese here looks good on my wrist and I don't think it's too heavy. The NATO makes the watch bulge out even more due to its inherent nature and I don't like it that much. While I have this in beige dial with me, you can also opt for a white or a deep blue dial. Now there are 5 straps that come in the form of 2 NATO straps, 1 leather and 2 steel straps to choose from. Now that you are spending $200 on this particular watch while sitting in India, what are the other greater options that you can go for? So the first one that comes to my mind, which is the fiercest of them all, is the Timex Marlin Automatic, and this has been the year for Timex. The second option comes in the form of a micro brand from Phoebus, which is the Eagle Ray GMT, which is almost priced similarly. You'll also get some decent watches from Alba at this price point, but I think that's the Seiko's idea of bringing a homage brand out. And its quality is not as good as this one. Titan also just came out with a few good watches in the form of their Stella collection, and there are a couple of watches that you can buy in this particular category. That is, if you're looking to buy just an Indian watch brand. The next watch that I have in my mind is the one that I'm actually tired of speaking, because that's a really nice watch from this micro brand called Spinnaker, where they have the hull diver and also the Fleuss automatic. The last functional watch that I have in my mind is the Boderry Sea Turtle, which will not fail to impress you. This is the segment which is most active and is largely conquered by fashion brands, so choose wisely. Finally, a sigh of relief for buying this watch, which I really found very nice for this price point, especially with the contents that I got in the box. An extra strap, a link removal tool, is something that you don't get to see in brands at this price. The quality here is top notch, the design cues are amazing, and this looks pretty sturdy and nice to wear on my wrist. This one is surely a conversation starter because a lot of people ask me a lot of questions about this particular watch every single time when I wore it. This one has to be a looker for sure. Overall, I would rate this watch 7 out of 10, and for this particular category, I would rate this 8.5 out of 10. And that's purely because of 2 things. It's a cheap, beautiful watch and has a workhorse movement. Seagull or Sugess? Have you made up your mind yet? By the way, what are you wearing today?